Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Shri Nityananda Trayodasi ki, Shri Nityananda Prabhu ki, Shri Gaur Nitai ki, Shri Panchatattva Bhagavan ki. So today is the appearance day of Lord Nityananda. Lord Nityananda is considered to be the elder brother of Lord Chaitanya, even though they are not from the same mother, but from the spiritual, from Goloka, they are Krishna and Balaram coming down into this world. Brajendra Nandana Jai Sachisuta Hoila Se Balaram Hoilo Nitai. So today Maharaj will be talking about Lord Nityananda, all the wonderful qualities and his activities, and why it's so important that we worship Lord Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya and the Panchatattva. Hare Krishna.
You do. Yeah. Okay. Nityananda aham naumi. Nityananda aham naumi. Sarvananda param karam. Sarvananda param karam. Nityananda ham naumi. Sarvananda karam param. Avaduta Shiromani. Avaduta Shiromani. Harinama Pradam Devam. Nityananda ham naumi. Sarvananda karam param. Avaduta Shiromani. Harinama Pradam Devam. So we offer our obeisances to Lord Nityananda, who is the crest jewel of all Avaduta mendicants, and he's the giver, right? Harinama Pradam Devam. He gives the holy names. Nityananda ki da. Yeah. So if you look on the Wikipedia, you find another Nityananda. No? You know? Some other guru, you know. So this we were talking about this same thing this morning, that Krishnadas Kaviraj, right? He gives us Chaitanya Charitamrita, and Prabhupada gives it to us. Bhaktisiddhanta has commentary, you know. But there's so many other literatures also from other Murari Gupta, so many people, you know, talking about the same incident, the same pastime, the same people, everything like that. We were mentioning for Western people, people raised in Western culture, which is most of the people here, you know, nowadays it's pervading everything. Columbus discovered tobacco in 1492. He also discovered Jamaica or someplace like that, Dominican Republic, you know, the Western world in 1492. But the real thing he brought back was tobacco, and that was the beginning of, you know, one of the basic, you know, pillars of civilization. So Lord Chaitanya was how old then? Yeah, 6 years old. 6 years old. So, you know, at that time it was very simple, right? They were crossing. Columbus crossed the ocean in 3 boats. You know what they were? No, not the Mayflower. Oh God, that was the Pilgrims. The Santa, the Nina, and the Santa, the Pinta, the Nina, and Santa Maria. And they were about, you know, they were just about the size of this room going across. Can you imagine crossing the Atlantic Ocean in a boat that small? Yeah. Anyway, it was a very primitive time. And plus, when they're crossing the ocean, they had some fear that they would go right off the edge of it, right? So it was a very different time, you know. And even we're talking about it in India, yeah, there was so much culture, advanced philosophy, everything, every place. But how was it circulating? You know, to go from Navadvip to Kanyakumari? No, Cape Comorin in the south, maybe take 4 weeks, 3 weeks, 5 weeks walking. So yeah, but there was a whole culture of Brahmins moving, and mendicant Brahmins, sannyasis, and talking with each other. And Madhvacharya was traveling with his Sankirtan party. They had one person with drum, one with kartals, and they were marching. And a couple of people were carrying the books. And they would come into one town, and okay, everybody, this is how we know what's going on, right? So okay, people receive them, and then when they start kirtan and talking about their philosophy, their idea, their perspective, their austerities, their practices, then people say, oh yes, we want some of this. So then they start copying the books, right? No photocopying machines, no? They just copied by hand. If you come out of the front of the Krishna Balaram temple in Vrindavan, our temple, and turn left, the first building you come to is the Krishna Institute. It's a government-supported place. You can go in there. It's a museum or a collection, and they have leaf things of Rupa Goswami's handwriting, right? Yeah, and it's so perfect. Lord Chaitanya said it was like a row of swans. Yeah, it was just perfect. An optical character reader could read them like that. So precise, But there it is, 500 years ago, Chaitanya Charitamrita, so many things. So this is what the atmosphere was. It was very, to our perspective, it was very, very limited in terms of technology and all these kind of things. But if you began to meet people, then it was like deep consciousness. We visited Naimisharanya sometimes, and it's a very famous place. When Lord Brahma, it's not too far from Lucknow, Lakshmanpur. And when Lord Brahma created the universe, he wanted some place for an axle, right, for the whole thing to rotate on, and that was Naimish Aranya. Naimish means one blink. Aranya means, Aranya Kasipu. No. In Spanish it means spider. Yeah. So Lord Vishnu's glance at that place only deviates for one blink. So if you want to do anything without being noticed, yeah. It's a very special place, yeah. So there are many, Prabhupada said, many saintly people living there, 120 years old, and very, very saintly, like Brahman realized people in ashrams. You're a sannyasi, you can stay for free and have all of the unsalted chapatis and, sabji is a few potatoes boiled in water with some tomato skins and chapatis. But from the forest, there's all kinds of herbs and things like that. It's a very, very saintly place. So walking around, you see people there, and they look at you, but they really look at you. You can see, does he have any knowledge? Does he, So when Lord Chaitanya was there, and Lord Nityananda was 12 years, it was estimate 12 years older than Lord Chaitanya. At that time, it was a very incredible place in terms of internal culture, Ayurveda, spices, horses, silk. There's no place in the world as rich as Bengal, was at that time in terms of material opulence, medical knowledge, all these things, unbelievable. And then Nimai, his family was part of this whole aristocratic culture. Rupa Goswami and Sanatana Goswami, how does it go? Hiranya and Govardhan, they were all a part of this extremely elevated culture, Bengali Brahmin community, and very, very high ideas, high consciousness, miracles, writing Sanskrit poetry this way, and so that actually when you read it this way, it also means something. You try and do that. And then they would cross it. Intelligence, unbelievable. So who are all these people? What is the world? There's one of the greatest classics in the world is Journey to the West. We have 1001 Arabian Nights, Grimm's Fairy Tales, Bible. Journey to the West is a Chinese classic, and it's about one monk, Tripikata, who was sent by the great Chang Emperor to get higher knowledge. They have a Yamaraj, they have all this stuff in China, and they have karma kanda. By doing certain activities, you can counteract your karma, you can do these activities, but you can't get out of the thing altogether. You've got to keep working on it. So this is jnana kanda, right? You know, not wisdom for getting out. So the monk, he went, where did he go? He didn't go east, he went west, because he's in China, right? And other side, the Iranians and Iraqis, they're heading east. So you look historically, I have my own big professor, his whole thesis on that. And in India, that portion has always been, you know, the pinnacle of spiritual knowledge, you know, and coming from there. So then we find the same ideas. What is it, Kannada? You know who Kannada's principal disciple was? Ishwara Krishnadas. Kannada is an atheist, and his principal disciple was Ishwara Krishnadas. It's like bizarre. Yeah. So his idea was that everything is being produced by atoms and molecules, right? Atoms and molecules, you know. So this goes to Democritus in Greece, goes to Europe, and then we have this philosophy, this idea that everything is, we discover things, okay, yeah. But it's coming from, India, Other side, China, ideas are coming from there and so on. But in India, there's so much ideas about what is the world, what's happening, everything else, there's a cockroach on the king's throne, right? And the cockroach is thinking, I am an intimate associate of the king, right? Until the king is mad. Yeah, but that's it. So we have so much proximity with things and different things like that, but it's what do you understand? What do you understand? What is your intelligence, buddhi? What is your thinking process? Yeah, we learn grammar. How many people here know English grammar? Yeah, okay. Yeah, every single person here. How many people here can count from 1 to 10? Yeah, okay. Yeah. These are real. I mean, first off, you're going to be able to isolate things, right? This is a whole process of isolating things. Then after that, you can start to make a line and count. And it's part of our whole view of the world. So Prabhupada is living in a different world than we are, the personality like that. And so exchanging ideas, what's the cause of everything, and the Vedas are giving so much information to different people, different perspectives, and so many commentaries and ideas about that. One time we were in South America with Radhika Raman Das, traveling and talking philosophers down there, and he was making the point that in contrast to Western philosophy, which is also many times very theoretical, even physics is very theoretical, mathematics. He said every single one of the 6 primary schools had a process, right? None of them were just ideas. They were processes you were supposed to apply to experience these things. He says if you're a physicist and you say, I'm a physicist in the university, but I've never been in a physics laboratory. Oh, okay. Yeah. But he says if you say you're a theologian and you believe in God, everybody's, oh my God, he believes in God. No, I'm a theologian, I'm studying theology, but I don't belong to any religion. Oh, okay, now we can trust. No. You should be, experiencing it. So all these different aspects of Vedic culture spreading all over the world. Who are we? What is this world? Everything else. Is it all happening by chance? Right? That's what science says. Everything is happening by chance. What is chance? Anybody here give a definition of chance? Huh? Huh?
Is it the way to fall down?
Oh, okay. He knows some. Yeah. Bertrand Russell, Nobel laureate, he said the most important concept in the 20th century is the idea of chance, because nobody has the slightest idea what it means. We're getting, by chance, we get combinations of atoms and we get different species of life and all that kind of stuff. It's a French word. It means to fall out. Everything is happening by falling out. You start looking at the basis of all this and it's pretty shallow. Yeah. But yes, we give you atomic bombs and birth control pills. Oh, okay. You know, we respect science. You know, yeah, yeah. But it's, well, why? So the time when Lord Chaitanya was there, Lord Nityananda was there, it was a huge culture of ideas and these kind of things. They were dealing with this Arab process which was coming in and superficially in some ways, you know, controlling things politically, but of course never able to touch the conceptual basis very much because it's just beyond them. Yeah? Yeah. And so Chaitanya Charitamrita, which is our source of knowledge about Lord Nityananda and our Sampradaya, reading this morning, the first chapter talks about Guru. The first verse, Vande Isha Bhaktan, Isha Avatarakan, Taprakasham Statakshakti, Krishna Chaitanya Samgatam. Okay? So Guru, that's the first chapters. Then Lord Chaitanya, who's coming soon, right? And then Lord Nityananda, and then Advaita. First we celebrated the appearance day of Madhavendra Puri, who's the guru of all of these people, guru of Nityananda, guru of Advaita. And then we celebrated Advaita Acharya's appearance properly. And now we should be celebrating Nityananda's, and then we'll be ready for, more or less, yeah. It's a spiral. Every year, you know, have Gaur Purnima every year, right? Hopefully, that you're, you know, every year it's getting more purified. Yeah. And so, with developing intelligence, reading books, applying it, then we start to understand who is Nityananda. Okay, so this morning I only have a certain number of minutes here. We're German. Nityananda is explaining. Well, first off, he explains Krishna. Okay. Krishna is the cause of all causes, everything else, a supreme person. He exists in his transcendental abode of Goloka, forever surrounded by the gopis and everybody else. Then he expands himself. He doesn't incarnate. He expands himself as Balaram. Okay, and the Bible very similar. That Jesus, Jehovah, expands himself as Jesus Christ. It's very very similar conceptual idea. He's the Logos. In the beginning was the Logos. The Logos was with God, and became man. I think they translate that in English as the word. In Spanish, they translate it as the verb. Yeah, but that's it, because, you know, if you get too close to three things, you'll get burned. A fire, a king, or a Brahmin. You get too close, you get burned. When they come to assassinate the king, you do not want to be too close. Yeah. And simultaneously, if you get too far away, you derive no benefit, right? Yeah, you can't be too far away from a fire, too close. And many people experience that with Prabhupada. They got, you know, I mean, they have one glance. I mean, literally, I know people, several people, they have one glance and everything else. They didn't sleep for 2 days. I know, it was just, like that. It was just, you know, really, people, you know. Okay, so Prabhupada, like that. Find your distance. Find your telescope. No. So same way, trying to approach the Lord Chaitanya, right? Lord Raghunath Das Goswami went to the Panihati festival and said, I'm like a dwarf trying to catch the moon and trying to catch the lotus feet of Lord Chaitanya, Gauranga. But his feet are your property, so if you're kind to me, then maybe I can catch them, you know. And he paid his obeisances. And Lord Nityananda, who's Avaduta, was laughing. He was saying, look at this fool. Look at this fool. He has a wife like an angel in heaven. He has parents with wealth, you know, that surpasses the gods, you know. And he's giving it all up to chase after this madman, Chaitanya. Look at this fool. You know. Then he put his foot, Lord Nityananda put his foot on Raghunath Das Goswami's head. Yeah. Like that. So this is expansion is Balaram. Balaram is the Logos. He allows us to approach Krishna, his guru. And then for Vaikuntha, he expands himself as, you know, was it Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. And they predominate all these different abodes and things like that and governing them. Then he expands himself again as Shankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha to deal with the material world. Material world is a little place in the spiritual world. Like that one little, like that. Well, there it is. Oh, yeah. And of course, they incarnate as Mahavishnu, Karanadak Vishnu, who's out of the material world. Just like the superintendent of, the minister of prisons. The minister of prisons is not in the prisons, right? But he's the guy who's making all the rules, arranging all the construction, everything else. It's Mahavishnu. You can stay with him forever. But then when the prisons are created by Mahavishnu, then Garbhodaksha Vishnu enters in. A soul makes this body alive. A soul makes this universe alive. That's Garbhodaksha Vishnu. He's why it all happens. Matter by itself, Prabhupada says, has a little bit of propensity to act. If you get out of your car and forget to put the brake on, it may move, right? But sometimes. So he says matter by itself has a little tendency to act, but not much. And so then when the soul is there, Garbhodaksha Vishnu, okay? And then he expands himself as Kshirodaksha Vishnu, who's like the prison guards and the cameras everywhere, dealing with everybody. So this he's saying, and then Kshirodaksha Vishnu lives on the ocean of milk, right? And on that is an island, and on the island is Sesha, who becomes his bed, his shoes, all the paraphernalia. So he's explaining this. This is Lord Nityananda. These are all portions or insignificant portions of Lord Nityananda. So if you're tuned in this morning, you would have heard this in more detail. But this is the kind of cosmic, perspective on things. We're not dealing with, what's it called? Higgs bosons. Anybody here know what a Higgs boson is? Would you like one for lunch? Like that? What's the popular name of the Higgs boson? The God particle. He doesn't like Higgs does not like that. That's not the God particle. You start looking at it, and I think God particle. But this is their idea, of protons, neutrons, electrons, mesons, pi mesons. We got quarks, charmed quarks. Yeah. Their cosmology, what they're doing, and they get some results. Again, they get birth control pills and atom bombs. Okay, so very good. These are all two very useful items like that. The animals can use them, right? When the monkeys have wars, If you look on the YouTube, look up chimpanzee AK-37, whatever it is, yeah. Some black guys in Africa give a chimpanzee an AK-47, and the chimpanzees are shooting it. And he goes like this. It's 45 million hits or something, an AK-47 chimpanzee. But that's it. I mean, a chimpanzee can do this and figure out what the thing is for. So now we're fighting with sticks, now we're fighting with atomic bombs. It's just, so what? But Lord Nityananda is behind all this. When you meet him, you're meeting, you begin to realize, but that's only a small portion of his opulence. This is as far as we got this morning. His real opulence is being able to, stimulate the conditioned souls in their relationship to Krishna, right? There's evil, slimy, envious, poisonous snake, or some people say snack. Our movie, yeah. What's his name? Kaliya, right up there behind you over the door. Yeah. He looks very nice there, So anyway, Kaliya, he's poisoning the water, everything else is terrible, unbelievable rascal. And so Krishna's in there, wrapped up in his coils and everything else. The Brijbasis are coming, Mother Yashoda, Nanda Maharaj, and everybody else. And they just want to go in the water and save Krishna, right? That's their ecstasy, everything else. But Balaram, he sacrifices his ecstasy to be guru, right? He sacrifices his understanding of Krishna as a little child and all these kind of things to remember that he's the Supreme Personality of Godhead. There's no more problem from the snake than there is from, like a piece of hair that's fallen on the ground. So he extends his arms like, 150 feet and stops everybody. Yes, he is. That's who he is. He's Balaram. And Vrindavan, Baladev said this, Adauji, he's like, got a potency, even though he's, maybe younger or whatever, And so, he's guru. Guru is there, even regulating the relationship between Krishna with the Vrajvasis. Radha and Krishna meet for the first time. My God, do you love peppermint ice cream? Oh, I love peppermint ice cream. It's like two little children. Then Balaram is sitting there thinking, this is going a little too fast. Krishna, I think it's time to take the cows home, Krishna. Oh, Balaram, can't Krishna stay a little longer? We'll be back tomorrow. Like that. So everything, this is Balaram. He participates in all the leelas and different forms, expanding himself. But he's guru. He's very important. Eternally. So many fantastic stories about Balaram. I wrote some down here. What do we got here? Okay. Vrindavan Das Thakur was the Acharya for Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, like Vyasadeva said. My only desire is to study Srimad Bhagavatam, life after life, with Lord Nityananda as my teacher. Okay, what else we got? Okay, we got that one. Okay. Oh yeah, then there's of course fantastic song. I was going to do it if we got the screen going, but even time. Nitai Pada Kamala Koti Chandra Shushi Tolo. And very nice song by Narottam Das Thakur from Prarthana. And very nice description of Lord Nityananda, his different levels, his consciousness. Do not think that the lotus feet of Lord Nityananda are illusion. And by the mercy, you think you're very proud of your birth, your qualities. He said none of these things are worth anything if you don't establish a relationship with Nityananda. So very nice song, and of course he's appearing right directly after, directly after Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda. I don't think he ever met them, but he met Jiva Goswami. Yeah, I think Jiva Goswami was not even Sanatana and Rupa had gone, but very close. So all the authentic relationship was there. So Narottam is fantastic, lens in our telescope. So Nitai Pada Kamala, very nice song. Okay, Jagai Nitai. Oh, okay, yeah. Jagai. Oh yeah, and of course one of the most famous pastimes is the story of Jagai and Madai. Jagai and Madai. They were, in their previous lifetimes, they were Hiranyakasipu and Hiranyaksha, Ravana and Kumbhakarna, Shishupal and Dantavakra. I came to the dentist today. Yeah. And they wanted to hang around for Lord Chaitanya's pastimes, so they became Jagai and Madai. And of course they were Brahmins. They were very powerful. They weren't like, storybook, monsters. One story we told us on the parikrama was that there's one very old Brahmin, his granddaughter would help him to go down to the Pakor, to bathe every day and so forth, so on. And so Jagai and Madai were there drinking wine and carrying on. They started whispering, And so then Jagai came up and said, hey, old Brahmin, please give me a benediction. The guy's almost blind, turns around. Then Madai knelt down behind him. So Jagai pushed him in the pond and he drowned to death. And they dragged the girl off in the bushes and raped her. This is Jagai and Madai. I mean, they were really, something from hell, Somebody was asking Chitraketu, the secretary of Yamaraj, was keeping all who's been naughty and who's been nice, So they asked him to see Jagai and Madai's books, and he's piled up. He said, "I just given up," So finally, the story is that Nityananda and Haridas were going out on Sankirtan, preaching the glories of the holy name, chant Hare Krishna. This is the Yuga Dharma. So many things, And then they were preaching to Jagai, and Jagai and Madai were doing something and carrying on. A crowd of people were sitting there yelling, and they were carrying on, And so Nityananda asked Haridas, who's local fellow, who's that? Oh, it's Jagai and Madai. They're sons of a very great Brahmin and everything else, but they're just horrible monsters. We've got to avoid them. And Lord Nityananda said, no, if we can convert them, it will be really great, for Lord Chaitanya's movement. And Haridas Thakur said, I don't think it's a good idea. I said, come on, let's go. He said, I don't think so. They went there, and they said, Nityananda is saying, chant Hare Krishna. You know, and they say, okay, well, I'll give you Hare Krishna. And they started to attack them. So Nityananda started running away with Haridas Thakur. And Haridas Thakur was saying, I told you. And Nityananda said, okay, we can discuss this later, but right now I suggest we just run faster. You know? So that was first approach, you know. But the next day he went again, right? And then I got, whatever it was, it was Ravana, Hiranyakasipu, Shishupal, I don't know, Jagai? Was it Jagai? Yeah. Or hit him with a pot on the head. And Maharaj is a gross guy, and you don't saintly person, you shouldn't do that. And again, he's bleeding. And then Lord Nityananda said, I forgive you, whatever, just chant Hare Krishna. So Lord Chaitanya came with his chakra, you know, to annihilate them, and they realized that was going to happen. You know? And then Nityananda grabbed him and just begged for him. And, you know, these guys are typical, you know. So he said, okay, if he's begged for your mercy, you know, and you've given it to him, you know, but you have to promise to give up all sinful reactions forever. So then they agreed to that, and Lord Chaitanya took their reactions, and for one moment he turned black. These guys were so sinful, and so on. So a wonderful pastimes of Nityananda having lunch with one Brahmin, you know, who wanted to know if they wanted Ananda after lunch. Nityananda having lunch with Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya. Nityananda with, what's his name? Ramachandra Khan. He was a guy who was collecting taxes for the Muslims, and he wouldn't let him come in the house. Yeah. What else, Scott? Oh yeah, Nityananda directing Krishnadas Kaviraj to go to Vrindavan. So I got him here. Okay. And he had two wives. Who were they? Yeah, Vasudha and Jahanava. Yeah, sisters. Yeah. Then by Vasudha had two children, Ganga and Virachandra or Virabhadra. And one very nice song about her daughter, Ganga. He said she was just so always moving. It's always very delightful. She would just go from room to room and adjusting things. She was an incarnation of the Ganges. So always moving, fluid and stuff like that, and singing and touching things and everything becoming purified, you know. So many activities, pastimes, and finding different ways. Lord Chaitanya and Nityananda would discuss after each incarnation about how to do things, how to catch more people next time, right? You know, after the battle of Kurukshetra, what's her name? Gandhari blamed Krishna for killing more people than anybody else of her family, entire family. I curse you that your family will also be destroyed. And she got it out of her heart. And then Krishna said, yes, I accept it. Whatever you said is true. He said, but you got to understand that this Kali Yuga is my own negative aspect, you know. And with the Pandavas and everybody else, I was able to save something. But even I wasn't able to save everything like that and so on. So I had to do so many things. And then Gandhari accepted, okay. You know. So that's it. You know, it's wide open. What's going to happen? Nityananda is coming. He's giving so much mercy, helping us to become purified, to connect up with Lord Chaitanya. But it's very optional. And every time we make a choice, to eat the rasagula or not eat the rasagula, or something, then it's like, and it's not just black and white. There's so many subtle things, and even Nityananda and Lord Chaitanya are trying to improve their service, right, and bring people back. And once you get back, of course, then there's so many pastimes, to go on. I could think of Goloka Vrindavan as like a Disneyland that is 15% finished, right? It's Disneyland for Krishna and Radha, playing all these games and everything else. That's Vrindavan. But and so each of us has a unique ability which nobody else has. And we're sitting here in this material world, and our unique ability is, being used very, very indirectly, So this is Nityananda. Nityananda is trying to take everybody back home, back to Godhead. Okay, according to the controllers who run the program, I was supposed to go from 7:30 to 8:10. We did it. Srila Prabhupada ki, Shri Nityananda Avaduta Shiromani ki jai, Gaura Premanandi Hare Bo. someone is coming here. Dum, 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 dum. Yeah.
So, even though sometime when we don't have sponsors, the temple still ends up feeding all of you. So, today's sponsors are the unfailing Hariballava Prabhu, always sponsoring feast at every opportunity to feed the devotees. So Hariballava Prabhu is seated there. It's always very, doesn't want to be seen in public. Very meek and humble devotee. Kindly give him a big round of applause. Next we have Shitej, Sisa, Sriram and Subal Kapoor. Kapoor family here today? They came in the morning, but they're sponsoring the feast. They make sure the devotees have prasadam. Oh, okay. They brought the birthday balloon. Hare Krishna. So, and we have Raghunath Priya Prabhu.